Okay, guys, hello and welcome to another episode of the JRE review. Today, I am reviewing Tulsi Gabbard, who's a new 2020 presidential candidate. I think that's the correct word. On podcast 1295. This was a really interesting conversation. She's been on Rogan before. And I wasn't running for president then, but Joe was asking her, and I think he may have had a sneaky feeling. Joe says in this one that this is his favorite presidential candidate of all time, or at least now. That's a huge statement. And she's from Hawaii, and I like the way she says Hawaii, or something. I need to practice that, but I like it. Anyway, let's start the review. Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience Review, where each week I review every single episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. What more do you want? All right. So, what did I get out of this? Well, I liked a lot of what she had to say. Her conversation with Joe is really nice because she seems super down to earth, real, you know? And it's also hard to believe that anyone, once they get to the position of president, can stay that real. I think that job is just so overwhelming, and there's so much pressure on everything you say that some things may change. But, you know, she's already a congresswoman, and, you know, for a young person, I think she's 38, she has a lot of experience in life, you know, more than me. I'm close to her age. Veteran. Joined after 9/11, you know, she was amped up about that. Did say, doesn't think policing the world works, you know, and I guess that's how you look at the word policing, but being an aggressor all over the world, I mean, it's not bringing people together. That I agree with, you know, seems reasonable. And I like that she's doing what she calls a people-powered campaign. So she's not taking any super PAC money, lobbyist money. That's cool. How long can that last? Can you even run a campaign like that? I guess it just depends how much money is coming in, how many followers you get, how much energy there is behind when your campaign starts. I don't know when they all start running for this. If it's 2020, they must be starting really soon. I don't know. So I guess that's kind of what she's doing now with this, right? She's making that effort and running up against Trump. Man, that is a daunting task. You know, I mean, to be fair, whatever you think of him, he does kind of crush people when it comes to those debates. He's an overpowering individual. They talk a bit about privacy concerns, social media, you know, selling our information, terms and conditions. She even brings up a classic South Park episode. I think it's called like iCentipad, where Stan signs the terms and conditions for Apple or whatever it is, and then they like sew them together, and it's a hilarious episode, and it's like a good point. Like, nobody reads those things, so where is this information going? And, you know, with politics as a whole, it's like, it really is always, to me, felt like just old people are running shit, you know, and now the president's old as fuck, so it's just kind of like the old way of thinking. Like, you think when he was born, how different the world was. It might not hurt to have some young energy in the top spot, in a sense. But we have had younger people before. I think JFK was pretty young when he got in, so this isn't exactly like a new thing. But new politics is with young people. We're making changes. Marijuana getting legal, shrooms decriminalized in Denver. What else? What else are we capable of? I think people are starting to believe that their vote like makes a difference. Kind of like out with the old, in with the new, right? And I guess the rise of these people-powered campaigns, it definitely is going to give a lot more individual power to personal representation. You know, I'm talking like I know what I'm talking about. I don't. I'm not a very political person, but I like listening to this. This is a good way to learn about the politicians. You know, when they sit down and have a big, long conversation. In a way, I wish more politicians Congress people, senators, whatever, even old ones would go on Rogan. I think that it's a good way to like get a message across and explain kind of what you're up to. It's it's pretty cool. Even Joe talked about having Clinton on and doing shrooms with him and getting to the bottom of like what was going on back in the day. I think that would be fucking crazy. Definitely would be the most downloaded podcast in human history, but it's unlikely. Don't hold your breath for that one. Joe did ask the simple question, why would you want to do this job? Because if you know Rogan's podcast, he doesn't really think that the job of president should even really exist. It's just too much for one person to handle. And Tulsi says to make a difference. Not a super unique answer. I'm pretty sure everyone says something close to that. But, it seemed genuine, right? And I do like the fact that she said that she never wanted to be president. Because I'm sure most of everyone wanted to be. I don't know how true that is if you're running for Congress. Because, you're always trying to think of the next step. But maybe she does just focus on one thing at a time, her task at a time, representing Hawaii. And now she's like, I want to do something bigger than that. I want to make a bigger change. I like that. She says she feels very strongly about making things better. And how she defined better through the podcast I liked. I'd be interested to hear your feedback on what you got out of it. I mean, this is going out to a lot of people on Rogan's podcast, and not everyone is a Democrat. So it would be cool to get some feedback and see what people are thinking. He's talked about higher minimum wage. I wish I knew more about economics and how that works. Because, you get those finance guys on there and those business guys, and they say that would destroy business. And they are running businesses. So are they really talking about it destroying businesses and the ability to hire, or are they just thinking about, getting a new pool and how much money they can siphon off the top? I just don't know. But it sounds good to me. I think people should be able to live okay from a full-time job. To think that someone's working 40 hours a week and they can't even survive on that, that's a bit of a shame. At least even at the minimum level. And I'm sure it happens. Definitely does around LA because it's so expensive. People here often don't have cars. They're taking the bus, just to pay for their rent and other things. It's expensive area and it's tough. She told a cool story, and you hear it, about how she got her mother, who owns like some sort of like macadamia nut toffee company, to make these little candy treats for all the Congress people and their staff. And then she was getting all these thank yous from like both sides of the aisle. And that's like a cool idea. And it's a super nice gesture as well. Like it's a really cool, nice gesture. Just that she's even thinking in those ways. Like if she's thinking in those ways, what does it mean when she's president? Is she like buying all the other elected officials from all the other countries like little candy treats? And who knows what it takes to kind of bring people together. When people are disagreeing on things, the conversation doesn't always go the way that's going to bring people together. But if you bring some treats to the mix, little candy treats, then maybe that works. I liked it. I thought that was a really cool idea. The kind of WikiLeaks and Julian Assad Snowden conversation part was interesting to me. It sounded like Tulsi was sympathetic to that idea of them releasing the information and not necessarily against them and wanting to prosecute them. I think something like letting Snowden back in the country so he doesn't have to live in Russia for the rest of his life would be a really bold move. And obviously, governments need secrets and things, but to punish people that out like actual government crimes is kind of weird. I mean, a little bit, right? I mean, it's like, oh, you caught me red-handed, so you're going to jail. That one doesn't give you a lot of faith, really, in government activities. So I liked kind of where she was coming from. And I think as president, she could solely kind of, what do they call it? Forgive. No, there's another term. But like, drop the charges on those things and allow, Snowden to kind of come back and that, I don't know, that would be a big move, a progressive move, and a different one, which is cool. And then they kind of finish up talking about China, what China's up to. She had concerns, just like I guess the Trump administration does. Huawei phones is a big one. Joe loves talking about those. I think he loves the phones, but he's like, what's going on with this company? Are they watching our stuff? Are they stealing our data? Are they taking this information? And the US, I guess, is like coming down on this company a little bit. So those sound like concerns that you should think about, maybe. I don't know. That's beyond my pay grade. I have no idea. They're fucking cool phones, though. I'm not gonna lie. They're really good, and they're way cheap. So, yeah, if they have found a sneaky way to get spy technology into our hands, they're not doing a terrible job of it. But anyway, yeah, give me some feedback on this. This is a big one because she is running for president, and it's not like a joke. Like, she might be a strong candidate to go up against Trump, and we might be hearing from her a lot. Maybe she doesn't win this time, but she's young. She can run again. And this person might be responsible for changing the world in a way. So, yeah, let me know your feedback. And guys, as always, and gals, thanks for downloading. I appreciate you. Have a great day.